Get your copy. Just a little louder, is that better? Okay, thank you. Well, yeah, I'll give you something after. Yeah, we'll send you a document. So the 3 points here. So like we said, broadband, which is the internet. Smart city stuff, which is just the other sensors that make the city smart. And the last part is when we put up this network, we put a street lamp. Either street lamp. Nice. That is, and it gives the mobile network operator like local their stuff in a nice clean way, so that you don't end up with antennas all over the place. Because we're all getting into 5G. 5G requires a lot of antennas. We put in the pole, kind of consolidate them all down in one nice place, so that clean them all. And they like it because then it gets them. So we all know about what's happened in the last few years. If you can't see the slide, it simply says, look, you had sold people to buy thing, learn from home. All the students had to go home, learn from home. Work from home. A lot of people are still working from home. They go back. So this is community need now. It's essential to have reliable communications, reliable internet in town, and affordable to people, everybody. And so that's the principle behind it. Deliver something that's robust. I mean, I've been traveling a lot, of course, doing this, and you see pictures of people who got kids leaning up against the back of Starbucks to do their homework and things like that because they don't have good internet. And we can do better, right? So it's an essential need. Everybody needs it. So by having a broadband network, then the community can get everybody connected, everyone can learn, and benefits of. So that's the really important one. Get a critical broadband for everybody in very fair. Sure, you can get internet in some other places you can get it, but if you don't know, unless you can afford triple play, ultimately, it would be very fair. And maybe it's not on the block anyway. Maybe you're in a multi-phone unit where the connection is just down because uncooperative situation, whatever it is, required. The box, brilliant. This is a kind of a video item. All the kinds of things that you can, go sit down with the community, hear, stakeholders in the community being important, what they'd like to see monitored, how to benefits here. So this is an example. We've obviously measured water, traffic flow, park, street monitoring videos. One community we talked about working with in New York, where putting sensors on bridges to monitor the temperature so that we can prioritize cloud, reduce the cloud overhead. So just simple things like that, and then more effective use. Here is public-private partnership. Usually, but also the partners together actions. So the focus is on what the provider. That's what people but do is grants. very brief diagram of who does what. Those are very simple. Civitas Networks does all of anything. The lines in the middle is like, of course, mission these days helps with the pattern, of course, with the you want to make sure that people are aware of it. And all plus TV, what we do is we have a program that we create that's called broadband internet ambassadors. We have the community connected, public forums, whatever it is, and set something up, yes, a library, whatever it is, make it easy to talk. That's the graphic stuff. It could be a $200 total. You would all all things that are there. The thing about this is, this picture shows picture on the left is an image of your typical colleges here out. But that does you like one of the left. Everything's very clean inside. I think it's very everything's clean, everything's inside. All that stuff that's hanging on the picture on the left is inside the phone. Clean, secure, sensors go in there as well. Any video, whatever it is, it's all internal. This one even has a little chart. There's one like this one where they put this called a ball right down the street. This future stuff with a nice one that is consolidated and very nice photos. Anything else? You start with the point is profile. Inside. Um, yeah, for an everything, you know, yes, it's been possible. You know, that's it's several things. One, first of all, to make it a little brighter into that. You get a very secure system. So there may be some things that we're doing with using Wi-Fi right now, and security is questionable, technical thing, but you know, this is private network, private secure. So there could be some things that business would definitely like that. Also, businesses like alternate, some businesses like to have more than one data type, if you will, backup. So there's that as well. But also having a demographic. So if I'm, for retail purposes, you might want to know, traffic flow or other things like that, pedestrian, traffic, et cetera. These things can be used for public transportation planning as well. So if I was planning on having a retail operation near a public transportation facility, then I know how to that. It's a better way of the traditional way of doing that. You're going to put up a friend of mine, he builds chain first. What they do is the classic thing. You will see the rubber hoses in the road, right? People put hoses down. So you get a snapshot of that one day, what's going on there. With this, you can accumulate motion. What's like a few big and also the water environment, you can send it inside their business. You can utilize it. A lot of businesses now are doing that. Quite a bit, and also there is something that we do. We do educational systems actually do a bunch of that in Caribbean, where they have a lot of challenges. There they even want to devices like you get very secure system for learning, which is a state environment that for the student models.
Pricing structures that you use with for internet access for other towns that you've done so?
And you need to know more about like here before you get out some of that pricing, but I can tell you, I know the pricing here, I know the value yet. We've done deep studies of that, and we know that especially with ACP compensation and other things, it's possible some members to get free, and some get very. The idea is to make it deliver good solid. Corporate speed multiplications by so yeah.
That other providers, like other event providers, could make use of them to increase competition?
Yeah, so we are. So one is space. Space with power and then mobile. So now you multiply all those numbers here on 15. A lot. So by getting headed out, establishing pulses now with for everybody, but wait. They can quickly relate to here, so instead of. You know, they can, but, you know, usually, you know, I mean, you do something that's ready to move in, is preferred to start from where you.
Doing something similar. Have you ever done like a joint system between multiple municipalities?
I mean, effectively done, there's some cost savings, is work, but there's some savings. You gotta start somewhere, so, you know. So we start here, this area, and then, you know, the other one, and then top for everybody's cost. Because we use public sector, the wireless plan, so that's better. It's finally important. You know, of course, sort of like permit, you know, patients. Part of it. All. So, regulation. So, yeah, like this, the whole network. It's regulated, it's still regulated, it's not, it's regulated, you have to, register. Companies, we just did. We'll have both people here that. So, I think it's small. Sure. Flatter. So, what will we do? I'm not sure. All of you, but we have. Wired. We're really talking about wiring. Another expensive people, give people the doing that. All those, big gathers in there. Scale. So they could be either, you know, same systems you now being deployed in cities like Las Vegas. Those are big cities. You know, it used to be the start bank where everything had to be wired up fast. The reality, that's not really true. But the old way from wired phones to wireless, right? Why are we tethering everything? So, wireless broadband is the way to go. Well, capacity is increasing all the time. These people are talking about it. So that's really where it is. You can see the requirements. So the whole point is to build a lot of very low power transformers and is to do stuff practical. Self, so the whole idea is to really put power ones so that it really gets a nice coverage, everything is covered, right? You know, when you start out, you think about the first cell phone. And they have one train going on, I think it's one train. All the time, they do this. This is these are very low power, low transmitters, just a lot of them. Sure. Yeah, yeah, so don't put a separate system, the EMS system, yeah, different system. But just to say that can be, it's correct, if you have the whole place, the EMS system. But again, well, no, would be what, the EMS system? No. How would we have fixed wireless, not mobile. It's not actually competition, but we can help them to get it. Well, the poles that we put up, the fixed wireless system, this extra space that they can put their stuff in it. And actually, we use the power lines in there, hold the bracket, come right in. And then they pay rent. Well, no, and I can tell you, it's a lot less than that. I think it'd be better to, take a look at specific level, okay? I mean, it's millions of dollars, but it's not, beyond. But the point is, though, that the cost of the community is not there because people paying into the new system, pay for the system. So, so the chunk doesn't have to pay. Yeah. They can improve the data speed, that. No, no, no. Well, so what is it? Yeah, so there's two different things. There's the cost to build something, and there's the cost to use it. Right? You cost to build it the same, not be borne by a shell, right? Cost to build it would be paid for by the users of the system. Okay? Is that okay? All right, that's the first part. Second part is the people who are now using it, because we're building a very low cost network, private network, the average cost for a user would be less than they're paying. The user, the consumer. The cable companies that they have here now, obviously. you know, I mean, technically anyone like that, there's private companies that are building internet, but not really cable. There's also, you know, you can go to some mobile network operators and they'll try to do some thing as well. But they like to combine it with other stuff. The cable companies want to combine it with other good. So, plus also, you know, there's the hidden cost. You know, you see these ads for whatever it is, but you got to look at the fine print because, you know, that's a limited time. Usually they give you some cost, it's a limited time and then price it. But we're not going to do that. You know, we're going to work with the community to make sure that there's a fixed rate, not going to go up. And so then you get control of the cost. Well, like you have Comcast, for example, trying to be a because the all kinds of state bracket. So you can literally unplug it, and we have a built-in cost. When 60 comes around, 60, we got that built in. We- we look at something about it. There's also a lot of software upgrades that have to do, so, you know, it's kind of a mixed bag. This cost of something, they tend to be less than part of it because. Well, yeah, well, so there's like one location where there's like a main rack. It's typically like wherever the data center. Probably the, data center. It's not hard. Because most of it's virtualized now, so cloud-based system. So really, the only thing that resides here is something that takes the data back from the pole to one place and then puts it in Yes, sir. Yes.
How many
Well, this area, this is, in other parts of the country, yes. So we're, we ourselves done, quite a number. Midwest, there's a lot going on in the Midwest. I never, never stay out of the really big city. Looking at it, really, really challenging. But part of there's dozens of that. No, not here. Yeah, we can do that. There are definitions. Some of the expressions that we can have. Now, each one's a different experience. Not all exactly. They're really different. Similar. And they're doing one, they need to. Okay. You just said that.
Ashley Agrello joined the meeting.
This is true, even here, until you go into a limited public forum to discuss town business. You've all heard of the golden rule, right? You want others, as you would have done unto you. These fraudsters do not. They intentionally inflict emotional distress on other people for their own personal gain. Some of them are named News Now Ninja, auditing Erie County career killer audits. I have dozens of them here. I've gotten off the internet. So New York City has been plagued by them for some years now. They have a phrase, the ADP, emotionally disturbed person, that will go up to the police precincts, which are non-public forums, and go inside and film. You often get arrested. But in New York, they seldom prosecute. So since Shelton City Hall is a open forum, their method of operation will be, for example, several of them will go
Porter McKinnon.
Joined the meeting.
stand there with their cell phone cameras and videotape people coming in to pay their taxes. What they're looking for, of course, is confrontation. They want negativity to post it on their YouTube channels for clicks and views so they can get earned money. These people are evil. Fortunately, House Bill 1186 was passed recently. It creates a 25-foot buffer zone from police investigations, from those videotaping them. Frequently, these fraudsters will just walk right up to them, stick their cell phone cameras in the police faces to provoke reactions. It's been passed in the House. The Senate is now considering it. Let's be prepared when you visit Shelton City Hall. Thank you.
Okay, this takes us on to the agenda items. Minutes for approval, Board of Alderman regular meeting and Board of Alderman special meeting, June 8th and June 29th, 2023.
Move to waive the reading and approve the following meeting minutes. Board of Alderman regular meeting, June 8, 2023, Board of Alderman special meeting, June 29, 2023. So moved.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Okay, there is no finance committee items and there's no public health and safety committee meetings. It takes us to item 5.3 street committee would be the abandonment of Petromont Lane.
Street committee.
Move per the recommendation of the street committee to approve the reconfiguration of Petromont Lane, which includes the full road abandonment along with the city's retention of utility and emergency access easements as more detailed in the application for abandonment. Further authorize Mayor Mark A. Ready to execute any and all documents necessary to effectuate the same.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded. Is there any further discussion on this?
Just so you can see in the packet, planning and zoning unanimously has approved the 24th.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Motion carries. I have no report. Item number 6, legislative hold. There's no items. Financial business, item number 7, there are no items. Takes us to item number 8, financial business new. And 8.1 is the July statutory refunds.
Move that the reported tax collector relevant to the refund of taxes for a total amount of $126.11 be approved. And that the finance director be directed to make payments in accordance with the certified list received from the tax collector. For funds to come from statutory refund account. So moved.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Item 8.2 is in the environmental services agreement for the Star Pin property at 267 Canal Street.
Be it resolved that Mayor Marqueta Ready be and is hereby authorized to enter into an agreement in the amount of $105,000 with Tide and Bond Inc. for environmental remediation planning and oversight of the former Star Pin factory facility located at 267 Canal Street, and further, be it resolved that the city of Shelton will pay these expenses through existing funding sources, state of Connecticut DECD grant, and the city of Shelton $100,000 matching share of the U.S. EPA grant previously approved by the Board of Aldermen at the April 13, 2023 meeting.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Motion carries. Item 8.3 is the purchase of 38 Blacks Hill Road.
Move to authorize purchase of 38 Black Hill Road and 0.87 acre parcel with a single family residence located thereon and identified the assessor's card as map/block 105-22 in an amount of $310,000 with funding to come from automatic bonding pursuant to section 70.16 of the city charter. Further, authorize Mayor Marqueta Ready to execute any and all documents necessary for effectual implementation.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded. Discussion. Everybody's familiar with this property?
Yeah.
You know that it is Butt City owned property and it's very close to the Moss property.
We need it for the road.
I'm sorry?
Do we need it for the road?
No, we don't need it for the road.
Oh, okay.
It's just an addition to already existing city-owned property that enlarges our footprint. And, you know, when you bring in other types of development and when you spend some time in government, you'll quickly find out that nobody wants anything in their backyard. And, you know, when encroachments happen like that, whether they're legal or someone thinks that they're not, it just creates controversy. So I think this kind of makes a lot of sense for what we've been doing up in that area for over the last 20 years.
Okay, so they want it to be bought out because they don't want to become still property, is that it?
No, the owners died and the family is, selling the property. And they approached the city.
Alright.
So. All those in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, this is the, item 8.4, the affirmation of the abandonment of a portion of Frank Connector.
Move to affirm the resolution for the abandonment of Frank Connector made at the July 8, 1999 Board of Alderman meeting and authorize the mayor and corporation council to effectuate the transfer of the discontinued and abandoned property and execute any and all documents that. So moved.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded. Discussion. So for the record, I personally don't believe this is necessary. This is a necessary action on behalf of the board, but if it's the board's desire to reapprove it, then feel free to do so. All those in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, this takes us to item 8.5, is the funding for the cleaning of the tennis courts at Shelton High School.
Move to appropriate an amount of $6,895 for the cleaning of the tennis courts at Shelton High School, with funding to come from contingency general account. So moved.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded. Discussion.
Those courts are under Parks and Rec, right? And they don't belong to the high school.
Well, they're on the high school complex, and I'm not sure of the answer to that, to be honest with you, but we do all of the maintenance up there and have.
Who signs who signs use of them? Do we manage them?
Well, no, it's right now, the way it works is that during the school day, Shelton High School has access to those courts, and they use them for a variety of other things. Parks and Rec has also implemented pickleball, and we have pickleball courts on that site. The reason that we're cleaning it, it's not an annual obligation to clean the courts. We have had some problems with the drainage getting plugged up, and so when water ponds and sits, moss will grow and could affect the surface, the adhesion of the surface to the asphalt. So as a precautionary measure, this is what we're doing. I believe that we did these courts 3 or 4 years ago. And so, it's a maintenance item that, we'll do every couple of years and see where we go. You may remember when we decided to redo these courts that we did put a foundation around the courts with the purpose of enclosing that facility, putting a building on top of it so it could be a year-round facility used for Parks and Rec, for the high school programs, all of the high school programs for every season. So this just makes sense.
Good question.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Funding for the paving of the parking lots at Long Hill School, Elizabeth Shelton School, Mohegan School, and Booth Hill School, also requesting a waiver of bids.
Move for the recommendation of the finance director to waive the bids for the milling and paving of the parking lots at Long Hill, Elizabeth Shelton, Mohegan, and Booth Hill School, and appropriate amount up to $800,000 for funding to come from American Rescue Plan funds.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded and discussion.
That $800,000 is for the paving.
Correct. Let me just give you a little, by way of background,
Up to.
up to 800,000.
Right.
So some of the schools, portions of the parking lots and the driveway areas are the original construction. And some of these schools were built in the 60s. So I think we can all agree that this is something that's long overdue. Over the years, the city has gone in there and done some patching and repairing, curb replacement after the winters, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. This is a little bit of a complication to be able to bid, in that each school has a different footprint. So we would have had to hire someone to go in and take measurements and draw together a spec, and it would be somewhat of a lengthy process. It could be done. We couldn't do this project during the school year, so this is the time of the year that we wanted to do, while school is not in session. So what I had Brian Rhodes do, and I have a copy here, I'll leave with the clerk, if you want to look at them, is that we have quotes from 3 different contractors. Oh, you do have it? Okay, I told her, don't waste the paper by, one copy was enough, but okay, so you got the quotes. And you see that, how the numbers came in. Now, this time of the year, is always a busy time of the year. Compounded by the fact that the federal government appropriated all this infrastructure money about 1.5 years ago. And so every contractor in the country is pretty busy. And to ensure that we can get this thing done, this summer, we're gonna try to use the low bidder, but if the low bidder cannot get to it, all the 4 schools, then we have a fallback position for other people. So that's why I said up to 800,000.
And this is not. This is. Yeah, this is good, the money we're going to use. School system already used 4.2 million of American Rescue Plan funds. Before, that they received.
Right.
And so the money that we receive for citywide projects, we're now using for school projects.
Correct.
So here again, our money is going to use in school.
I think at some point in time, it would be appropriate to have a public discussion and a breakdown of all the monies that have been spent in the last couple of years on the school system.
Yeah.
And because at budget time, everybody wants to believe what they're told by the school system and Board of Education. And as you know, I said here in front of everybody, I do not come from that school of thought. And I think that over the course of time, that position is going to be borne out to be true. And so people need to see how much we're actually spending on the school system, on every aspect of the school system. And it doesn't appropriately get discussed during budget time.
No, does it appropriately get reported to the state?
Respectfully, I asked that question during the A&T meetings, and Tyler confirmed that money that we spend as capital projects is reported to the state and included in the number there.
I asked him that question, and he told me they use some other formula. Because I had said, if they include every single thing that we do, Chromebooks, pay to play, or, it all benefits the school system. He told me a different line. I asked him right at that table.
Who are you referring to?
Todd, the finance director, the Board of Ed. I asked him that question, and we don't get credit. If they include all of this, we would be in the top 10 for education spending. But,
Well, look at,
he said something completely different.
that can be clarified at another point in time. I would also tell you that between the superintendent of schools and the finance director, there's about 3.5 years collectively of experience in school funding and educational budgets and things like that. So it should be understood. Their mistakes may have been made along the way.
And yeah.
Well, back to this though, the part of the charter cited, 7.14.3C, that I think the 3 is a mistake. I think it's just 7.14C. That refers to professional services, being considered on our list of professional services.
No, it's not.
Okay.
So bid waiver is required.
Right, but this motion is to waive the bidding process. So are we entitled to waive it if it's not?
We don't.
Right, don't we have to have and I'm just trying to understand, don't we have to have a reason that we're allowed to waive it?
I just gave you a long rendition of, why we're at this point.
Well, I understand that we want to get it in quickly. I'm just, is that an acceptable reason for the charter?
Well, the charter, if you read the charter further, they give you 3 categories that you could use for a waiver of bid.
And one of them,
And I can't think of the third one, but
Practical, all these.
And so.
impractical.
I got this.
no, it's not sole source. But look at anyways, but we don't need to get into that now. I mean, you can read the charter and you'll see, you know, where it gives you 3 avenues to make your approach to ask for a bid waiver. So,
Okay, so if it's inappropriate.
The
then you
important
need
thing
6
is if we
members.
don't pass this tonight, and we lose another month, as an example, we're not gonna get this paid this year.
Okay.
This job won't get done.
I answer the,
That's-
closed when it gets too cold.
That's the impact.
Really start driving.
Yeah.
I answer the yes.
I think the impractical section is 7.14.b, and I'm fine with that.
okay, and there are any other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Motion carries. All right, this takes us to legislative new. There is one item to public hearing. And that's item 9.1A is the presentation and selection of the official flag of the city of Shelby.
And I think everybody has a copy of the information, the proposal that the committee came up with. Remember we appointed Anthony Simonetti and Eric Pearson to work with the gentleman that came with the proposal, and he's given some proposal. We think that the committee thinks it's a good idea to take it to public hearing and get the public's view on these proposals. I think we could move forward on that. So,
Okay, so there's no vote required. for that.
Does anybody want information about why we did this? How we got to this?
Part
of the presentation. If the board wanted, that's okay.
Okay, at this point in time, I'll entertain a motion for adjournment. So,
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.